Thank you Blood Swordplay for asking for this video. Now I'm a bit excited because like literally these cards may change the meta. We're going to be starting off with blue. First card we're going to be looking at is Air Marshal. It's 2 mana, it's a 2-drop, and has an effect. Target soldier gains flying until the end of the turn. I'll pass on that. Curate, 2 mana, Surveil. What does that mean? Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put any number of them in your graveyard, and draw a card. I think there's a card that's like Surveil 1, draw a card, and it only requires 1 mana. I don't know if that's going to be leaving the format, but honestly, and Defabricate. It's 2 mana. Choose one, counter target artifact or enhancement spell. Wow. If a spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard. Very, very good card against enhancement decks. I don't know, it's more like a side deck card. Counter target activated or triggered ability. What does that mean? Is that like Air Marshals, like it counters that ability? I don't know, I don't really like it. I'd rather you counter the card entirely rather than you counter the ability of a card and they still keep the card. Next we got Desynchronize, 5 mana. Wow, instant. Target non-land permanent's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library, scry 2. For 5 mana? No, that's not good. Drafna, founder of Lat-Nam. For 2 mana, return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. And for 3 mana and you tap this, copy target artifact spell you control. Okay, the copy effect is pretty good. And his stats aren't that bad. It's a 2/1 for 2 mana. What is this? Fallahji Archaeologist for 2 mana. When this card enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Good effect. You may put a non-creature, non-land from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't... Wait, there's a similar card that's white, isn't there? Regardless, this is a good card. I think mill cards are genuinely good. And this one, even though it has no attack and it has 3 defense, it's only 2 mana. I think it's pretty good. Flow of Knowledge, 5 mana. Draw a card for each island you control, then discard 2 cards. And Dominary United, there was like this draw card. It was like 2 water mana and then an X. And then you draw cards equal to the X amount. This card feels like a weaker version. Honestly, I don't think it's that good. Forging the Anchor, 3 mana. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of artifact cards from among them and put the revealed cards in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library. I like that card. I think that card is genuinely good. Because what if you reveal 5 artifacts? You add 5 cards to your hand. For 3 mana? Very good card. Hurkyl, Master Withered. Legendary creature. At the beginning of your end step, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. For each card type among the non-creature spells you've cast this turn, you may put a card of that type at the Wait, so at your end step, you pretty much just add a card. If you used a card, and if you use multiple cards, you add multiple cards. Like for free? That is, that's a little sus. That's kind of good. That's not kind of good. That's really good. Hurkyl's Final Meditation. This is 7 mana. Wow. As long as it's not your turn, this spell costs 3 more to cast. Huh? Oh, it's an instant. So it costs 10 mana if you cast it during your opponent's turn. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand. End the turn. Oh, but it's like a board wipe. But it's not a real board wipe. It doesn't like banish them or destroy them. No, it's just like return it back to the hand. Wait, there's more. Exile all spells and abilities from the stack, including this card. I don't get that. Does everything get banished then? I don't know. That card doesn't seem that good, but if it banishes everything, it's good. But I don't think I would play it. Involuntary Cooldown. Tap with the 2 target artifacts or creatures, put 2 stun counters on each of them. Nah, it's not that good. Keeper of Cadence. It's a 5 mana drop. For 3 mana, put target artifact, instant, or sorcery from your graveyard in the bottom of the owner's library. I mean, it's not that good. I'm gonna be quite honest. So far, I'm not very impressed with the blue cards. Maybe it's because blue deck is already super powerful, but I'm not impressed. Koilos Roc, Flash Flying. Oh, cool. For 5 mana though. Ooh. When Koilos Roc enters the battlefield, create a tapped Powerstone for 3/3. I mean, it gets you a mana for artifacts. It also has flash, but honestly, no, not that good. Lat-Nam Adept. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Lat-Nam. But he's 4 mana to summon. No, it's not that good. Machine over Matter. 2 mana, okay. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control an artifact creature. So literally, it's a 1 mana drop. Oh, it's an instant, it's a spell. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Why is this in this? That card kind of sucks. There's cards that do that, but they also let you scry or like look at the top of your deck or do more things like that. That's kind of bad. Mightstone Animation. 4 mana, enhance artifact. When Mightstone enters the battlefield, draw a card. Okay. Enhanced artifact is a creature with base power and toughness 4/4 in addition to its other types. I don't think it's bad, because as soon as it enters the field, you draw a card, so you kind of go plus. You can only use it on artifacts, but I don't know. That card's interesting. I don't think it's bad. One with the Multiverse, 8 mana. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Really? Wow, okay, that's cool. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. Wait, that card is insane! Literally, if you use this card and you run a bunch of really expensive cards, you can play them for free. That's how you abuse this card. That card is good. Okay, that's the first like good blue card I've seen. Retrieval Agent. It's 4 mana. It has a ability 2 mana. Retrieval Agent gets 1/1 until the end of the turn. I don't know. It's not that impressive, but its stats are kind of high. But it's 4 mana. It's no, I'm not feeling it. Scatter Ray. For 2 mana, counter target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4. This card reminds me of the Essence card. I forgot what it's called, but it negates a monster. Except this one can also negate a artifact unless they pay 4 or more. Realistically, they're only gonna have like 3 or 2 mana left after they summon their monster like mid-early game. I kind of like Scatter Ray. I do like it because now you can negate artifacts. Skystrike Officer. It's 3 mana, flying. Whenever this card attacks, create. Okay, good. Tap 3 untap control soldiers you control. Draw a card. Its stats aren't bad, and it's flying. Wait, that card's good. That card's genuinely good. Okay, that's a good card. Splitting a Powerstone for 3 mana. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact. Okay. Create 2 tapped Powerstone tokens. If a sacrificed artifact was a legendary, draw a card. I don't know. I'm not feeling that card either. Stern Lesson. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Create a tapped Powerstone token. For 3 mana? 3 mana, you get to draw 2 cards, but you have to discard one, and then you get like a token for artifacts. Okay, that card's kind of good. I do like this card. Take Flight. Enhanced creature. Enhanced creature gains 1 attack and has flying, and whenever this creature attacks, draw a card. There's like a card like this. It's like you equip it to like a legendary or something, and then if it attacks, you draw a card or something. This is kind of like this, but it can be equipped to anything. Also, the monster gets flying and bonus attack. I don't think it's... I feel like you would have to like put this in a deck that like it works around. You can't just throw this in any deck. It has to be like specifically in a deck that works around it. Teferi, Temporal Pilgrim. This is 5 mana. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on this card. For 0 mana, draw a card. Wow. Create a 2/2 blue spirit token with vigilance. Whenever you draw a card, put a counter. Wow, that's good. For 12, holy crap. Target opponent chooses a permanent they control. Return it to the owner's hand. Then they shuffle each non-land permanent. What the? Okay, that 12 effect is insane. They literally lose everything. I love that. Third Path Savant. For 3 mana. For 7 mana, draw 2 cards. Okay, dude. That card sucks. Thopter Mechanic for 2 mana. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a counter on this. When this card dies, create a colorless Starpick artifact token with flying. I genuinely like this card just because it can get big, and even if it doesn't get big, it summons a monster when it dies. So it's kind of like a 3/2 in a sense for 2 mana, which isn't bad. Urza's Powerstone Prodigy, 3 mana. It's a legendary. Vigilance. 1 mana and tap. Draw a card, then discard a card. That's good. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, create a tapped Powerstone token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Okay, I like that card. That card's pretty good because for 1 mana, you can get its engine going where you draw this card and then you get a Powerstone token which you can use as like mana for the next turn. I like that card. Good card. Urza's Command. Choose 2. Creatures you don't control get -2 attack. Create a tapped Powerstone token. Create a tapped 0/0. Colorless contract with this creature gets 1/1 for each card. Okay, that's kind of good. Scry 1, then draw a card. For 4 mana, it's an instant. I don't like it. I don't like it. Urza's Rebuff. Counter target spell. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Okay, this card is insane. For 3 mana? No, this card is insane. Because you can negate a spell, which is really, really good. Or you can like push for damage and tap 2 of their monsters and then just like attack. Okay, that card is... This card is so good. I really like this card. Weakstone Subjugation. Enhance artifact or creature. When Weakstone enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 If you do, tap Enchanted Permanent. Enchanted Permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for 1 mana. So I guess for 4 mana you can kind of remove a monster from attacking for like ever. No, that card doesn't seem that good. Well, if you enchant a monster and then it attacks on its own, then it's never gonna untap. I mean, this card's weird. It's good, but at the same time, I don't like it. But I think it, I don't know, it's hard. Weakstone is like, for me, it's like kind of mid, but I feel like it can be really good. I just need to use it in practice. Wings Command. Flying, 3 mana, Prowess. What is that? When you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets 1/1 until the end of the turn. No, bad card. Zephyr Sentinel. For 2 mana, Flash Flying. Love to see it. When this card enters the battlefield, return up to 1 other target creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was a soldier, put a 1/1 counter on this dude. So he becomes 3/2, and he's Flash Flying, but you have to bounce a monster. I think it's not bad, because what if you bounce a soldier that gets this effect when he's summoned again? I like this card. I genuinely like this card because its stats aren't bad. It can get bigger, and you can like recycle effects. Arcane Proxy for 7. Artifact creature. For 3 mana, you can summon this for like 2/1. Is it flying? It's not flying. When this card enters the battlefield, if you cast it, exile target instant or sorcery spell with the mana value less than or equal to the power from your graveyard. Copy that card. You may cast. Whoa! Slow down. You can summon him for 7, and then you can copy a spell in your graveyard that's 4 mana. So essentially, you're summoning this dude for 3, and his stats are good. Or you can summon him for 3 mana, and then you can copy a spell that's 2 mana. That is genuinely a good card. What the heck? Costal Bulwark, 2 mana, Defender. Costal Bulwark gets +2 attack if you control an island. Wait, this card's good. But it's a Defender though, so I can't attack. But it's going to be a 3/3 if you play it in a water deck. That is kind of impressive. That's a big wall. Surveil 1. Look at the top card of your library. No, not for 2 mana. Maybe if it was just like no mana at all and you tap, this card would be insane. But I think it's just okay. It's just a Defender though. If it wasn't a Defender, it'd be insane. Combat Courier is 1 mana, sacrifice for 2 mana, draw a card. You can bring it back with 1. So essentially, you can draw a card for 3. You summon this guy, you draw a card for 3, and then you bring him back from the graveyard and you draw a card for 3 again. I like that you can like use it twice. You can use it from the graveyard, but then it gets exiled when it leaves the field. Depth Charge Colossus. It looks sick. 9 mana. Or you can summon it with 6 mana, so this is like a boss. Doesn't untap during your untap step. Huh? Untap depth. Wait, what? I don't get it. It costs so much mana to bring him out, but then he attacks once and then he's done. Or you can pay 3 mana, untap him. This card kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you're paying 6 or 9 mana, it should have like an amazing effect. No, its effect is literally like, hey, I'm a vanilla monster, except you have to pay 3 mana for me to attack again. Like, come on, bro, get out of here. Hulking Metaphor, 9 mana. It is an artifact. For 4 mana, you can summon it as a 3/3 or a 7/7 with 9 mana. You may have this card enter the battlefield as a copy of an artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact creature in addition to its other types. Its power and toughness are equal to... I think cards that copy are actually genuinely good in decks that have like a lot of abilities when like on summon and stuff like that. I don't know, interesting card. Spotter Thopter. This is a silly name. 8 mana, or you can summon it for 4 mana. Flying. When this card enters the battlefield, scry X, where X is its power. Bad card. No offense, I don't like it. Surge Engine for 2 mana. I've already seen this card and it is insane. First of all, its stats 3/2. Not bad for a Defender for only 2 mana. This card loses Defender and gains cannot be blocked. Okay, first of all, for 1 mana, that's an insane effect. That effect is just so good. It can't be blocked, bro. Not only that, it just gets bigger and bigger. For 3 mana, Surge Engine becomes blue and has base power and toughness 5/4. That's huge. Activate only if this doesn't have Defender. So pretty much for 4 mana, it's a 5/4. Like, yo, what's going on here? This card's insane. For 6 mana, draw 3 cards. You can do that every single turn, dude. That's so good. This card's dumb. This card is way too powerful. Temporal Anchor. 7 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 2. Whenever you choose to put 1 or more cards in the bottom of your library while scrying, exile that many cards from the bottom of your library. So like you get rid of them? During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Temporal Anchor. So essentially this card is, hey, you can play the 2 cards you scryed. For 7 mana though, just for that effect, I mean, it's not like you play the cards for free. You still have to pay the mana for it. It's not bad. It's kind of like you draw 2 cards every single turn in addition to your draw. I don't like it. Terisian Mindbreaker, 7 mana. Whenever this card attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded up. Yo! Bring it back from the graveyard for 4 mana. That doesn't seem fair. I haven't played around with mill half the library. I know there's some cards that do that, but that just seems like overpowered. That just seems really overpowered. I don't want to think too much about this because I want to say it's insanely broken and it's so OP it should be banned. But at the same time, I haven't really seen people play mill half library decks, so I don't know if it's genuinely good or not. That effect to me just sounds like ban it. But honestly, it could just be like, why would you play that, you know? All right, we made it down to the list. We're going to be doing black next time. If you enjoyed this video, I'm glad. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night. Maybe I'll catch you later. Peace. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. You can check out all the new content I'm going to be making, but besides that, hope you have a great day. See ya.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.